Welcome to Shelby Valley, home of the Wildcats. Beautiful stadium down here. A nice Friday night for football. Chuck Scoville, Brian Lee on WPRG Sports. Pikeville, I think, had won the toss before the game but elected to defer until the second half, if I'm not badly mistaken. And Eddie DeRamus, number 42, ready to boot it off. Jeremy Bell, number 1. David Potter, number 21. Jeremy Johnson, number 30, back deep for the Wildcats. Pikeville comes into this ball game with an 8-1 record, having won everything since the Pike County Bowl loss to Prestonsburg. They have been blowing out some people the last few weeks, and Jeremy Bell receives the kick a couple of yards deep in the end zone, and Shelby Valley will take over on offense, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. The Wildcats still with an outside shot at the playoffs. Prestonsburg, if they beat MC Napier, I think will allow Shelby Valley into the playoffs, and Prestonsburg is a favorite traveling to Hazard to take on the Navajos tonight. So Tom Searcy's Wildcats still got a shot at the playoffs, and if they do make the playoffs, their first-round opponent will be Russell from up near that Ashland, Greenup County area. It's like number 43 going to be split out wide here to the near side. That is Johnny Alvin. The quarterback, number 25, Mike Hall, up under center, gives off, fakes the handoff and throws a pass. Intended receiver was number 87, Gerald Smith, broken up at the line of scrimmage, incomplete, and nearly intercepted. 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats from their own 20. Shelby Valley's played in a pretty tough district this year. Magoffin County, greatly improved ball club. Of course, Whitesburg, a AA powerhouse this year, and Tom Searcy came up from Whitesburg about 3 years ago to coach this Wildcat team, and Wildcats looking here for a upset win over Pikeville tonight. Jeremy Johnson on the left side picks up about 5 yards. He's drugged down by number 24 for Pikeville. That is Kern Weddington on the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and a 5 situation for the Wildcats of Shelby Valley. Final regular season game of the season here tonight at this beautiful stadium. First time I've had the opportunity to film a game down here, Brian, and it's just a gorgeous place. It's nicer than a lot of your small colleges have that I've been to, and definitely the nicest facility we've been to this year. A little bit bigger than Magoffin County's. Magoffin County, I tell you, has a beautiful new stadium down there. This one built just a little bit larger than that, but very similar, and they've got a track around the field as well here at Shelby Valley. Hall up under center, I backfield, split out wide right. It looks like the tight end Smith. Quick hitter to Johnny Alvin, number 43, incomplete at about the 28-yard line. Hit him right in the chest, and he couldn't hold on to it, and it's going to be a 4th and 5 situation. Shelby Valley probably going to boot it away. Looks like number 2, Sterling Isaac, checking into the lineup. I don't know if he is the punter or not, but he's just checked in for Shelby Valley. Looks like Isaac is the kicker. That's what I thought. First time we've seen him tonight. Big freshman, 6 foot, 180 pounder. Going to take the snap at about the 12-yard line. Pikeville sends a corner rush. Nobody up the middle, and a wobbly kick by Isaac off the side of his foot. Gets a little bit of a bounce, but it's going to be good field position for the Panthers as the ball rolls out of bounds right around the 40-yard line of Shelby Valley. So Pikeville will have great field position, and that's not something you want to do, give Pikeville field position, because they've got an explosive offense. Brent Coleman, a little jitterbug with some good speed. He zigs and zags, and once he finds a hole, he can flat out run. John Hatfield also has good speed as well in that Pikeville Panther backfield. Handoff, second man through. Find some tough yards right up the middle, about a 3-yard gain, maybe 4. See where they spot the football. David Finch, one of the men on the tackle there for Shelby Valley. Give him 3, 2nd and 7, long 7 situation for Pikeville. Handoff, and that goes nowhere. Like number 25 on the carry for Pikeville, Brent Coleman. And a 3rd down and 8 situation, no gain on the play. So Shelby Valley pretty good on the run stoppage, at least in the early going here. Shelby Valley came out fired up tonight. They were yelling and clapping and jumping, and Pruitt back to pass. He's under a lot of pressure, and he's going to be decked back at the Pikeville 48-yard line. Big loss coming in there, number 15, one of the players. Also number 44. Looked like Eddie Compton and Jeff Hamilton in for Shelby Valley on the tackle. A big loss, and a good defensive stand to start this ball game for the Wildcats. That's something they wanted to do. This will fire up the team a little bit, and Pikeville has been very, very explosive as of the last 4 or 5 weeks. They've been putting 65, 70 points a game on the scoreboard. Pretty nice kick there, going to be taken by Jeremy Bell at about the 13, backs up to the 10, crosses the 15, gets across the 20, and fights out to about the 23-yard line before he's driven out of bounds on the far side of the field. That's where Shelby Valley will take over, 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line. No score, just underway, 9:14 remaining here in the first quarter. The way the playoff situation sets right now, Pikeville will either be playing Pineville or Harlan at home, depending on how that other district's races come out. Some games still remaining tonight that will settle the playoff picture, and we'll talk about that a little later on tonight. Handoff up the middle, hurdling one tackler and picking up about 3 yards, number 30, Jeremy Johnson. Second down and about 7 for Shelby Valley. Looks like they're going to spot the ball right on the 25, so give him a gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Brisk evening out here at Shelby Valley. Of course, a little warmer than it was the last couple of nights. We're only expecting temperatures into the low to mid 40s tonight. It was in the low 30s the last couple of nights, so it has warmed up a little bit, but still a tad cool out here for a lot of the folks. The crowd being kept down maybe by the coolness of the weather. Pass by Hall, got a man open, Alvin, and hits him right in the hands, and he can't hold on. Johnny Alvin's been open a couple of times and not been able to hold on to either one of them. Open down about the 41-yard line. Mike Hall showing a good arm there. Mike Hall, a 6 foot 1 inch, 180-pound sophomore. Shelby Valley got a young ball club this year. Got a few seniors on this club, but they've got a lot of sophomores and juniors suiting up and playing on both sides of the line this year. Third down and about 8 at the 25 for the Wildcats of Shelby Valley. They're decked out in the blue and white, Pikeville in the maroon and white. The traveling uniforms, Pikeville will wear that all maroon uniform on home games. Jeremy Johnson takes the ball, hits over the right guard, gets out about to the 29-yard line. Not going to be enough for the first down. Going to leave him about 5 yards short. Pickup of about 4 there. And they're going to have to boot it away. Isaac coming out there, number 2, Sterling Isaac. To kick for Shelby Valley. Well, Brian Lee's a little bit under the weather tonight, not feeling real good, and I think this change in the weather and this cold snap's kind of messed up my sinuses tonight, so bear with us. We'll try to get this ball game off for you. This punt a little bit better. It's higher, way up in the air. Gets a little bit of a Shelby Valley bounce and a roll inside the 45 of Pikeville, inside the 40 to about the 37, maybe the 38-yard line. 37's where they're going to spot it. So Isaac not getting a big boomer of a kickoff, but it was good and high, so there was no return, and we've got a flag right up near midfield. Let's see who the call's going to be on. Looks like they're going to mark it off against Shelby Valley the way the referee's standing. You know, kind of an interesting situation. There was no run back on the kick. Still waiting from a personal foul on Shelby Valley. So Pikeville's going to get some of that yardage back off that kick, and it's going to come up to the Shelby Valley 47-yard line. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Wildcats. Pikeville is going to have a 1st and 10. Number 28 comes out here near to our side. And a wide out. Pruitt up under center. Wishbone backfield. Gives off last man through. Coleman, he's got a big hole. Off to the races he goes, and he's going to be hog-collared and pulled down from behind, but not before a big gain inside the 20-yard line. Jeremy Johnson on the stop. That was a touchdown-saving jersey grab there by Jeremy Johnson, because once Coleman hits the hole, he flat out explodes. Not a big kid, 5'7", about 175 pounds, but he can flat out motor when he's in the open field, and he nearly broke that one. Looks like Adam Minix is going to be split out here to the near side of the field. Wishbone backfield once again. Everybody in pretty close. Pruitt gives off first man through. Not much of a hole there. Maybe a yard gain. Chris Strait, number 40 on the carry. Give him 2 yards. 2nd down and 8. Ball spotted around the 18-yard line of the Wildcats. Give off to, who was that? Coleman. Looked like Brent Coleman, and he just ducked his head, slithered through a couple of holes. I thought they had him back around the 15-yard line, but nobody brought him down, and he worked his way all the way inside, just inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal. Pikeville knocking on the door. Give off to Brent Coleman, and he squirts through the hole once again. Kind of like a greased bowling ball. He hit the line, and plenty of people had an opportunity to take a shot at him. He just kept those legs churning and squirted right into the end zone. 9-yard touchdown run by Brent Coleman, and Pikeville draws first blood here with 6:12 remaining in the first quarter of play. Diego Ramos, number 1. Ready to kick it away, and the kick is up and good. Got plenty of distance. And Ronnie Ford out there to retrieve the football. Now, Ronnie, you're still young enough. You should have tracked that thing down and caught it, son. Ronnie, of course, long-time helper for the Pikeville Panthers football team, and he's said he's looking forward to going down to Louisville again this year. And you know what that means, state championship time. Ronnie says he thinks the Panthers can do it, but the Panthers have a early 6-0 lead, and we'll be back with the Pikeville Panther kickoff after this break on WPRG Channel 5 Sports. Welcome back to Shelby Valley. Big Eddie DeRamus, number 42, ready to boot the ball away for the Panthers. And they've still only got 6 points on the scoreboard. Brian, I thought that kick was good from our vantage point. Maybe it was out to the left side a little bit. We're not at the right angle, and Pikeville still nonetheless has a 6-0 lead. Good kick by DeRamus. That ball's going to go all the way down to about the 1-yard line, picked up by Bell, number 1. Dodges 1 or 2 tacklers and breaks his way outside to about the 26-yard line. So about a 25-yard kickoff return by number 1, Jeremy Bell. And Shelby Valley will take over on offense from there.
On the Pikeville side of that, please get up in the stands.
First and 10 for the Wildcats. Let's set the backfield. Number 10, David Finch, and number 30, Jeremy Johnson. In an eye behind the quarterback, Bell. Split out wide to the far side is Jeremy Bell, and he's going to throw it over here to Johnny Albin. Albin makes the catch this time. The defender falls down, and Albin's got a big gainer all the way down to the Pikeville 30-yard line. The tackle made over there by number 44, Ben Ramsey. Number 22, Barone, I think, was the man that slipped over there on the sideline, and Alvin cut inside of him and held on to the football this time. And we've got an injured player up on the other side of the field for Shelby Valley. After that play was completed, but the Wildcats, they're going to spot the ball at the 32-yard line. We'll have a 1st down and 10 situation on that long pass play from Mike Hall to Johnny Alvin. Can't get that player's number. We've got an official timeout for an injury, and with that, we will go ahead and take a quick break here on WPRG Channel 5 Sports.
Once again, a reminder to the Pikeville fans, please head to the stands. No standing on the track.
Brad Dennison, number 79, the center for Shelby Valley, the injured ball player. It looks like he's favoring that left leg, being helped off the field there. 1st and 10 for Shelby Valley as we're back to live action. The give off to number 10, Finch, and Finch not finding much running room that time. He is stacked up, lost maybe a yard on the play, back to about the 34. 2nd down and 11 for the Wildcats. Ben Ramsey up on the stop for Pikeville, number 44. Looks like number 67, Danny Bartley, is checked into center for Shelby Valley now. Hall up under center. Loses the football, a miscue on the snap. Who's got the football? Hall, I think, fell on it to save the possession for Shelby Valley. No gain, obviously, on the play. Pikeville's got it. Hall tried to get it back. The ball was recovered by the Panthers, so Shelby Valley's drive is stopped right there at the 34.5-yard line. The Panthers will take over on offense. You see that happen quite often. I don't care whether you're in high school, college, or the pros. You get a different quarterback or a different center. They're not used to working with each other, not used to handling the snaps. You don't have any time to practice, and there's a miscue on the snap. Handoff there to Coleman. Hatfield, number 17. Hatfield out to about the 43-yard line. Pickup of about 8 yards on the carry. About a 2nd down and 2 for the Panthers. Hatfield more of a straight up runner, a little taller and rangier than Brent Coleman, but he can motor pretty well in the open field as well. Doesn't have the zigzag quick moves that Coleman does, but he's got the speed. Coleman to the outside, breaks a tackle, gets around Jeremy Johnson. He's off to the races and he's gone for the touchdown. Brent Coleman beat the contained man, Jeremy Johnson, number 30, on the far side of the field. We got a flag at about the 25-yard line. Let's see if this one's going to hold up or if it's coming back. Somebody missed a tackle over at about the Shelby Valley 45. Johnson tried to grab him up near the 30 and missed the tackle, or wasn't able to get hold of him. And Coleman turned on the speed and was off to the races for the score. Got a clip. Now, how can you have a clip on the defense? I don't know. Well, personal foul on the defense anyway, and the touchdown will be good. Makes it 12-0 Pikeville as they come out for the extra point attempt. Since that kick was called no good on the first touchdown, it looked like Pikeville's going for 2 here. Jonathan Pruitt going to bootleg it into the end zone. Faked the handoff up the middle, had people biting on defense, and he just ran it in unmolested for the 2-point conversion. Gives Pikeville a 14-0 lead. We'll be back with the Panthers kickoff right after this break on WPRG Channel 5 Sports. Okay, welcome back here to Shelby Valley. Pikeville with a 14-0 lead. 3:48 remaining here in the first period of play. Eddie DeRamus ready to boot the ball away. It looks like Bell, number 1, in the middle. Potter on the far side, number 21, and Johnson on the near side, number 30, ready to receive the kick. Doremus, another high kick coming down to Bell at about the 7-yard line. Bell cuts up the middle, gets out to the 30, and going to be stopped right there around the 30, 31-yard line. So Bell, when he's touched the football, has been averaging about 25 yards per kickoff. The ball going to be spotted at the Shelby Valley 31-yard line. Shelby Valley had moved the ball pretty well the last possession, but center Dennison got hurt. A new center came in and had a miscue on the snap, and Pikeville got the fumble recovery and just took them about 3 plays to take it into the end zone. Pikeville, a big strike type offense, and they don't have to throw the football to get the big strike. I tell you, with Coleman in that backfield, he's rattled off a couple of runs here early and given Pikeville a 2-touchdown lead here in the first quarter. Handoff to Johnson, and not much room there. May have gotten a yard, if any. Looks like they're going to spot the ball pretty much at the original line of scrimmage. Picked up maybe a half a yard on the carry. Second down, long 9. Little equipment repair being done by the referees. Tell you what, sometimes that's not as easy as it looks. Some of those helmet snaps are awful hard to get in there. You got all that padding inside the helmet, and to get your fingers in there where you can snap them back shut is a task sometimes. I've tried to do it some this year with the grade school teams. Looks like Johnson's all set and ready now. They're going to run out of the I backfield. Double wideouts. Bell to the near side, Alvin to the far side. Finch, the fullback, the lead back in the I. A little motion in the line, and we may have a flag. Pikeville may have jumped. Let's see what the call's going to be. Nope. Got some motion on. Got some motion in the line there for Shelby Valley that the referee said caused Pikeville to jump. So Shelby Valley going to be marched back 5 yards. Going to be a second down and a long 14. Final game of the season for both these ball clubs, of course, until playoff time, which will get underway, I think, next weekend. Hall up under center, fakes the handoff. Pikeville flooding the backfield with pass rushers, and he gets a quick pass off to Finch. Finch gets up to about the 34-yard line. So he picks up about 8. It's going to be a 3rd and 7 situation. Tell you, Hall stood in there tall for the sophomore quarterback. Pikeville had about 5 men all over him, and he dumped that little quick hitter over the middle to Finch to avoid the sack and pick up some positive yardage that time. Bell split near side, Alvin to the far side, back still in an I. Hall looking for some room, rolls out, it's got Bell open. Bell's got the first down and then some as he's inside Pikeville territory to about the 43-yard line. Is where he's brought down over there. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Well, that'll give that offense a little bit more confidence now. They're moving the football. They need to try to get back into this ball game. They trail 14-0, and they got the first down on a big 3rd down play. Coach Hillard Howard, even though this team has just been awesome the last 5 or 6 weeks, still talking a little bit about the defense. Doesn't know if Pikeville can stop anybody. And that concerns him as far as the playoffs go. He knows that they can score. And he says they may just have to outscore the teams that they have to play. Catch by Alvin over the outstretched hands of one of the receivers, and fumble the football after the catch, and Pikeville's come up with it again. So they got some positive yardage on the pass return. Alvin fighting for some more yardage, got spun around, had the football taken away from him. And Pikeville will take over on their own 35 with the second Shelby Valley turnover of the quarter. 47 seconds remaining here in the first period. Pikeville's got the ball on a 14-0 lead. Pruitt up under center, backs in the wishbone. Minnick split out here to the near side. Pruitt gives off first man through. Chris Straight, and Straight finds some running room straight up the middle. No pun intended, to about the 43-yard lines where they're going to mark it. About an 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Chris Straight, nothing fancy, but good fullback for this Pikeville team. Good straight ahead runner, good blocker. Picked up 8 yards on the carry. Give off to Coleman, and Coleman, I tell you what, he just lowers his head, and then he's always looking forward, though. He gets down so low, you can't see whether he's actually got the football, and he just zigs and zags, and he picked up about 8 yards again inside the Shelby Valley side of the field to about the 48-yard line, and that's the end of the first quarter with the score. Pikeville 14, Shelby Valley nothing. We'll be back with the second period after this timeout on WPRG Channel 5 Sports. Okay, welcome back. Pruitt gives off to Coleman. Coleman once again squirting over the right side, gets a little bit of a hole, and man, he just turns it on, picks up about 8 yards, it looks like. Close to 9, 2nd and 1 for Pikeville. Tell you what, when Coleman gets the football, he averages about 7, 8 yards a carry, it looks like. With those big runs, he may be averaging more than that. He's had a lot of 40, 50, 60-yard runs this year as well. Hand off to Hatfield. Hatfield trying to fight his way through the line, gets strung out, still picks up a few yards, may have enough for the first down, and finally brought down about the 45-yard line. That is enough for the first down. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Shelby Valley 45. Steve Justice, number 42, one of the folks in on the tackle for Shelby Valley. No wide receivers this time for Pikeville. Everybody in close, and we got a flag on the play. Illegal procedure against the Panthers, going to back them up 5. Second down and 15. May have had too many lined up in the backfield that time, Brian. The fullback was over in a slot back position and 3 backs in there behind the quarterback. May not have had enough space between the folks down there. Pruitt up under center. Give off to Coleman. He fumbles the ball. It bounces on the ground. He picks it back up and makes some yardage out of it. Ball inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Second and 13, give him a couple yards on that. That's the shortest run of the game so far for Brent Coleman. For all you folks wondering about Mr. Coleman, he's going to be back a couple of years. He is just a sophomore, so he's got 2 more years to menace this area in football. Pass to Doug Powers, number 7. He catches it down there at about the 30-yard line. Picks up about 9 yards. It's going to be about a 3rd down and 4 situation right at the 30. Jeremy Johnson in on the tackle for Shelby Valley. Powers, the backup quarterback, also playing some tight end and some various configurations in this offense. Give off to, oh, it looks like Eddie DeRamus had the football and coughed it up, and who's got it now? Who has the football? I think Shelby Valley fell on it, and then number 54 for Pikeville grabbed it. Shelby Valley's got it. It's blown dead after the recovery. The Wildcats picked the ball up on the fumble by Eddie DeRamus. DeRamus had more than enough for the first down as he busted through the line there, hit the ground with a couple of tacklers on top of him, the ball squirting loose. And Shelby Valley comes up with it, 1st and 10. Well, no. I thought the announcer just said Shelby Valley had it, Brian. They gave it back to Pikeville. So DeRamus's knees must have been on the ground at the 18-yard line. Coleman carries and hit at the line of scrimmage, gain of maybe a yard for Coleman. I thought from all indications there that Shelby Valley may have had the football, but I think they said DeRamus's knee was down when the fumble occurred. 2nd and 9. Pitch out to Hatfield, and Hatfield's got some running room. We got a flag. I think we got a hold on Pikeville. Hatfield goes into the end zone on the far side for the score, but I think it's going to come back. I think we've got a hold out there on the far side of the field. Look like number 70 for Pikeville. Throwing the Shelby Valley defender down over there. And this one, my friends, I think is going to come back. The only man out there on the far side for Shelby Valley was the man that got held and thrown down. So the score comes back, and it'll be a 2nd down and 15 situation. Obviously not a holding call against the Panthers, only a 5-yard penalty. Give off to Coleman over the left side, breaks 3 or 4 tackles over there and heads out near the out-of-bounds marker, picks up some good yardage over on the left side of the field. Inside the 15 down to around the 10-yard line, looks like where they're going to spot it. We're at a severe angle over here in the press box. Ball resting just inside the 10, 3rd down and 2. So Pikeville needs 2 yards for a first down and about 9.5 for a touchdown. Give off straight up the middle, and plenty of running room found, more than enough for the first down. Chris Strait, number 40 on the carry as they unpile. 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Pikeville threatening once again. Jonathan Pruitt up under center. Gives off. First man through. Touchdown was scored, trying to get the number of the ball carrier. Looked like Coleman. Tell you, this Coleman is not a big kid, but he's awful tough. I tell you, when he hits the line, he hits it with some force and some authority, and just burst into the end zone through that little hole over there on the left side and scores his 3rd touchdown of the ball game. 20-0. Pikeville claims the lead. Ramos out there to try for the extra point. The kick is up, and that one's good. I saw that one. And it makes it to 21-0 with 7:35 remaining here in the first half of play. We'll be back with the Panther kickoff after this time out on WPRG TV5 Sports. Okay, welcome back. Eddie DeRamus, I think, will be the kickoff man for Pikeville. Back deep, number 21 in the middle is Potter. To the near side, number 1, Bell, and to the far side, number 30, Jeremy Johnson for Shelby Valley. Wildcats now have moved the ball pretty well twice, and only to lose the ball on fumbles. They missed out on a fumble recovery. Eddie DeRamus fumbled down here on this last Pikeville drive, but they said he was down when the fumble occurred. Potter, number 21, picks the ball up at about the 8-yard line, fights his way ahead, gets out to the 35-yard line. Pretty good return by number 21, David Potter. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. They need to get something going on offense and keep it going as they trail by 3 touchdowns. Not too many teams in this area, Brian, that can keep up with the Pikeville Panthers. I tell you what, they may be a Class A school, but year in and year out, they get a lot of infusion of talent and stuff into this ball club, and they'd give some of those bigger teams downstate a run for their money year in and year out. Shelby Valley, an up-and-coming program. Prestonsburg building a good football program over there in Floyd County. Of course, Belfry, a traditional football power over there in Belfry, but there's not too many teams other than the ones we mentioned that can stack up each week with the Pikeville Panthers. They just have built a great feeder system, a good junior high and JV program, and when these kids hit the high school level, they are ready to play. And every year, somehow, some way, they seem to come up with a couple of backs that can flat out fly. And not too many teams in the mountains can match up with the speed that Pikeville possesses on most years. Good little run on first down there, about a 7-yard gain. They're looking for Alvin here on the near side. The ball's thrown out of bounds. No way for him to catch that one. Incomplete. It's going to be a 3rd down at about 4. You look at some of these teams that have had great success over the past couple of years downstate, like Beechwood and Danville and Bardstown. They have all had great speed, at least at a couple of positions on their football teams, and that can break a game wide open for you. Got some movement on the far side over there. Jumping over there, number 85 for Shelby Valley. Also some jumping on Pikeville side. I think the ball is going to be penalized the Shelby Valley way. Going to back them up 5 instead of a 3rd and 4. They're going to have about a 3rd and 9 situation from their own 36-yard line. This Pikeville team this year not as big and physical, not the smash mouth type team they had 3 or 4 years ago. But they have been able to get the job done because they cover the field so well and can spread some people out. And Mike Hall goes down under a big pass rush back at about the 26-yard line. Host of Pikeville defenders in there. Look like number 20, Abe Boyd, also number 33 in there for Pikeville. That was Mark McCoy and a couple more in there. And Hall goes down attempting to pass. It's going to be a 4th down situation and about 16 yards to go. So Sterling Isaac back to boot the ball away for Shelby Valley, standing up here about the 45-yard line. Looks like Cassidy and Coleman. No, that's 88. That is Cade Cinnamon with the punt return, but he didn't get much running room there. Maybe got a yard as he is tackled at the Pikeville 37-yard line. That's where the Panthers will take over on offense. They have the lead in this ball game, 21-0. Wishbone backfield, everybody in tight, no wideouts. Fakes the handoff to Coleman, the give off to Hatfield. Hatfield picks up about 8 yards up to about the 44-yard line. Going to mark it back at the 43, give him 7, 2nd down and about 4. Well, Big Eddie DeRamus now in the backfield. They've got straight DeRamus and Coleman back there. Give off to DeRamus, and he just barrels his way up the middle, knocks out a couple of tacklers and takes it into Shelby Valley territory at about the 46-yard line. Tell you what, Brian, I've been saying this all year long. They get Eddie DeRamus in that weight room and put some muscle on that frame. The kid is big, he's strong, and he's pretty fast for a kid 250 pounds. You turn the rest of that 250 into muscle, he is going to be one hoss to handle, and he's just a sophomore. Brent Coleman going to be jersey tackle down on the near side here at about the 7-yard line. Got a player shaken up over here for Shelby Valley, but I think he's okay and going to trot back into the huddle. Pikeville with a 1st and 10 from the Shelby Valley 37. Pikeville can throw so many weapons at you. They've got about 5 or 6 real good running backs on this ball club, and each of them can do different things. DeRamus, big power runner, and he just barrels his way through the middle and picks up about real close to first down territory once again, Brian. Another first down, yep. Ball spotted just inside the 26. It was originally at the 37, so an 11-yard gain by DeRamus, 1st and 10. DeRamus lining up as the first back in the wishbone. This time they give off to Hatfield. Hatfield cuts across field, and he's gone. Forget it. You're not going to catch him. Once he gets into the open field, that kid's got some speed, too. He went left, went right, and then went right back into the middle and scored on the touchdown. 26-yard run by John Hatfield, giving Pikeville a bigger lead now, 27-0 with 3:52 remaining in the half. One thing we can say positively on this cold night, Brian, is that they're running the football a lot, so that means that this game will not last an awful long time. When they're throwing the ball, the clock stops quite a bit. Ramos's kick is up. It's a low kick, but it goes through the uprights, and the score now, Pikeville 28, Shelby Valley nothing. We'll be back with the Panther kickoff after this break on WPRG Channel 5 Sports. Okay, welcome back. Well, DeRamus not going to kick off this time. It looks like number 60 says, hey, I'd like a try at that. Tom Blanton coming out to boot it away for Pikeville. Well, now, if I was down on the sidelines, I might ask Hillard if I can kick one, too. I've been practicing my kickoffs and punts and field goals all year down at the grade school. I wouldn't mind getting a shot on nationwide TV here on WPRG, Brian, to boot one away. Blanton's kick coming down to number 1, Jeremy Bell. Bell cuts it up the middle and finds some pretty good running room out to about the 35-yard line. So Shelby Valley's had pretty good field position tonight on those kickoff returns. And seems like every time they get the ball moving a little bit, they shoot themselves in the foot. Let's see if this offense can get a consistent drive going right here. Beautiful facility down here at Shelby Valley. I tell you, the whole school, the gym, everything is just first class, first rate down here. And they did it right down here. They found them a flat piece of land that didn't need a whole heck of a lot of work done to it, and built them a nice football stadium with a track, a baseball field, a practice field, a nice gym. They've got the whole works down here, and everything's first rate, and that's the way that all the schools should be done here in Eastern Kentucky. Our kids need and deserve the best, and they've got a wonderful facility in which to play and learn both here at Shelby Valley. Pass was incomplete, 2nd down and 10 situation. So many times you see in Eastern Kentucky where somebody tries to put a 500-student school on a little sliver of land backed up against the mountain where the water's running off and there's no room to expand. But I tell you, Shelby Valley's got a beautiful facility here. Got plenty of room to spread out and to grow and to enjoy the learning process. Well, Shelby Valley's taking a time out, Brian. You want to keep it here or do you want to take a break? We'll go ahead and take a break here on Channel 5 and be right back after this.
I don't know if I'll be able to show this back now or not.
Mike Hall up under center, drops back to pass, throws upfield, and I don't know about that. Looks like the defender may have been draped on the intended receiver Bell a little bit. The ball was thrown low, incomplete. Hall had time to pass that time. Dropped back in the pocket, and ball just a little bit low. 3rd down and 10 for the Wildcats. Referee's now working on a little helmet repair over there for David Finch. I think that strap's broken. Finch not real happy about having to come across here to the sidelines and get things fixed there. He was kind of giving the referee the evil eye there when he told him he had to come off the field until he could get that helmet fixed. Slide number 14, Sterling Robinson, going to check into the lineup for at least one play here for Shelby Valley. And nothing doing there. That thing is stacked up right in the middle on the 3rd down and 10. They gave the ball to Robinson, and kind of a unusual call on 3rd and 10 to hand off over the left guard. In any event, to pick up if only a yard, it's going to be 4th down and 9 for Shelby Valley. This game here has no bearing on the playoffs because Shelby Valley a 2A school and Pikeville a 1A school. This is just a kind of a long time rivalry back from the Virgie Pikeville days. Isaac back to kick the ball away for Shelby Valley, loses the handle on it, drops it, and he's going to have to run with it, and comes out of there, loses a couple of yards back to the 30, and that's where Pikeville will take over on offense. Yeah, Isaac got the snap, couldn't hold on to it, picked it up. Pikeville had a couple of rushers coming in on him, didn't think he could get the punt off, so he took off running with it, and Pikeville contained him and takes over on downs in great field position at the Shelby Valley 30-yard line. Double wideouts this time for Pikeville. Looks like they may be passing the football, and we've got a whistle before the play. Shelby Valley taking a timeout. Is Finch going to come back in the lineup, and who's he going to replace here? Well, the entire team going to come over here to the sidelines and talk to head coach Tom Searcy. Well, tomorrow the grade school season will officially end with a big gritorama down at Allen Central High School. All the teams from around the region will be meeting down there, and they will be pairing up and battling it out on the gridiron according to their order of finish. To the best of my knowledge, Allen Elementary is going to take on South Floyd. And that's about all I know right now, because I've been following Allen's football program this year because I've got a little boy playing over there, and a lot of friends have got kids playing over there. But it's going to be a great time to be had by all, and need everybody's support for grade school football. Head on out to Allen Central tomorrow. Should be a nice day, and you'll see some up-and-coming kids that will be playing at the high school level here in the next 2 or 3 years. Teams like Inez Warfield, the Allen Central Junior Rebels, and others will be in action. We'll tell you about some more after this. Looks like Pruitt on the keeper, going to lose a yard. 2nd down and 11 situation for Pikeville. Magoffin County will be there. Betsy Lane, Allen, South Floyd. The South Floyd Little Raiders, I think they've got 3 or 4 elementary schools that have all joined together and formed a team, as has Allen Central. They've got a couple of schools that have joined together and formed a team over there. Adams Middle School will be there, and trying to think of some of the other schools that will be involved in this big gritorama down there tomorrow, but it should be a lot of fun. I want to take our hats off to the folks over there, Linda Gearhart and Jackie Day Chris, Jason Chris, Fred Bingham, Don Holbrook, Monty Branham, all the folks that have spent so much time coaching over at Allen and working so hard. Junior Setzer, Paul Foley coaching some of the younger kids. They've worked real hard this year, and they've got a nice little field built over there. They've got goalposts and stands, got that field lined up and in good shape. So Allen, the only grade school in Floyd County now with a nice football facility, and we want to say thanks to all those folks who put in so much time and work to build a nice stadium and program over there. Pruitt back to pass, screen pass to 29. I think that's Adam Minix. Minix finds some running room, gets the 1st down before he's drug out of bounds down at around the 15-yard line. Looks like the referee's standing about the 13. where they're going to mark the football. Going to be a 1st and 10 situation for the Panthers.
Flag on the play.
Got a flag on the play. Let's see what the call is going to be here before we move the chains and move the balls officially. Looks like it's going to be on Shelby Valley, Brian. Once again, Shelby Valley been doing some jawing tonight, and some of the coaches up here aren't real happy about it, that are barking out defensive instructions. But that's going to move the ball down even further on this defense. Going to take the ball all the way down to the 6-yard line, half the distance of the goal. So that's something that they did not need, and Pikeville will have 1st and goal now from about the 6. Now, Jonathan Pruitt, a good quarterback, just doesn't get a chance to throw much in this wishbone offense. He hands off this time and busting straight up the middle there for the score. See if we can get the number. I can't see. Doremus. Eddie Doremus, number 42, just plows right up the middle for the score. Makes it 34-0 with 1:52 left in the half. Diego Ramos out there to try the extra point. Soccer-style kicker puts it up, and the kick is good. Makes it 35-zip. Pikeville with the lead. We'll be back with the Panther kickoff after this break on WPRG Sports. Diego Ramos, number 1, ready to kick the ball off for the Pikeville Panthers. So they're trying some different kickoff people here after they got that big lead built up. A short kick coming down to number 1, Bell. Bell cuts back up the middle, finds a little running room, and he is finally driven down at about the 36-yard line. So once again, Shelby Valley with good field position. Let's see what the Wildcats can do on offense. They've had a couple of fumbles, and that punt wasn't blocked last time, but it might have as well have been blocked because Isaac couldn't get it off, and Pikeville took the ball over in real good field position. Wildcats don't have a lot of time, 1:34 and counting here on the clock in the first half of play. Double wideouts, triple wideouts, it looks like, to the near side. Looks like Johnson at a flanker. Alvin and Bell split out further. Only one back in the backfield. Hall back to pass. Hall's on the run, though. He's being pressured. He finds a little running room in the middle of the field as he gets out of that containment and inside the Pikeville side of the field at the 48-yard line. Well, Hall didn't really have a chance to set up and pass. Pikeville put a big pass rush on him. He ducked under the defender and found some room in the middle. Mark McCoy on the tackle for Pikeville, number 33. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the playoffs. Prestonsburg has been on a roll the last few weeks. They found a little offense to go with that great defense about midway through the season. John Morris running the ball real well. Thomas Ratliff showing some real good senior leadership. And we got a clipping call, it looks like, on Shelby Valley. So that nice little run by the quarterback is going to go back the other way. Kind of a late call by the referee there, but the ball is going to come down to the Shelby Valley 23. Going to be about a 1st and 25, it looks like. Pikeville, I don't think, will have any trouble in at least the first round of the playoffs. They'll either take on Harlan or Pineville. I had a chance to see Harlan earlier in the year, and I don't see any way that Harlan will be able to stop Pikeville's very potent offense, and I don't know much about Pineville other than that Harlan beat them on the road. Whitesburg looking real tough right now. They're taking on McGoffin County in their final game of the season, and Hall going to go down for a big loss way back down about the 6-yard line. Went back to pass, and Pikeville had 4 rushers in there on him. Like number 80, one of the guys in there, Chip Templeman, and about 3 more folks from Pikeville in there. Ben Cassidy, number 10. So Shelby Valley, I'm not even going to add this up, Brian. Got about a 2nd down, and oh man, What about 41, 42 yards to go? Ball spotted at the 6. They've got to go all the way to the 47-yard line, it looks like. 2nd and 41. Some of the other playoff games will feature Sheldon Clark. They're going to be on the road to take on the winner of the East Carter Lawrence County game tonight. Phelps, I think, is going to be on the road to take on Everett's, and Everett's a small school from a small town, but bouncing right back into football prominence this year. They had a great team about 3 years ago when Scotty Russell, Mr. Football, played down there at running back. And Everett's once again with a good football team. Bill McKinney's team looking to give them a battle down there, though. We'll talk about those playoffs while we have a break here in the half. We're back to live action now as Hall up under center. Gives off to Finch. Finch is going to fight his way around the left side to about the 17-yard line. Pickup of about 11. It'll be a 3rd down at about 30. Been an enjoyable season, at least during this regular season for. Okay, welcome back here to Shelby Valley High School. Pikeville with a 35-0 lead, and a lot of festivities going on at halftime. The Shelby Valley seniors in the band had a lot of fun, and with the underclassmen out there, they had baby powder and shaving cream going all over the place during the halftime band marching ceremonies. Well, playoffs are starting up next week. We told you we'd talk a little bit about the playoffs. In Class A, Williamsburg will host either Neon or Elkhorn City, depending on who wins tonight. Both those two teams are tied up. Jenkins will take on Cumberland. Phelps will travel to Everett's, and either Harlan or Pineville will be playing at Pikeville next week. Looks like Shelby Valley about ready to kick things off here, so we will talk about the AA and AAA playoffs after we get underway here from Shelby Valley. As we said, Pikeville had deferred to the second half, so they're going to receive the football. Looks like Brent Coleman, John Hatfield, and Kern Weddington back there. Coleman's got it. Cuts across the 30, finds a little running room, and finally spun down at about the 40. They had him at the 32, and he stayed on his feet. Good balance there by Coleman. Pikeville will have pretty good field position. AA playoffs, if Shelby Valley gets into the playoffs, they will be taking on Russell. If they don't, if MC Napier wins tonight, MC Napier will take on Russell. Sheldon Clark will travel to meet the winner of the East Carter Lawrence County game, which is being played tonight. The loser of the East Carter Lawrence County game will play at Prestonsburg next week, and Fleming County will take on Whitesburg at Whitesburg next week. John Hatfield on the carry for Pikeville, picks up about 6 yards, 2nd down and a 4 situation for the Panthers. In AAA, Knott County Central will travel to Bell County. Breathitt County will host Pulaski Southwest. Belfry will travel to meet Whitley County, and Knox Central will visit Leslie County. That's the way the AAA playoffs look. So we've got you caught up on who's going to be playing who, at least up until what we know right now. Some scores tonight, as we said, may change some things in AA and possibly the AAA situation. Whitley County, I think, had to forfeit a couple of ball games for using an ineligible player, and Pike County Central gets a win against Whitley County via a forfeit. That news coming into us today. Pruitt pitches out to Hatfield. Hatfield's got one blocker out in front of him. Good open field tackle by Shelby Valley over there on the Shelby Valley 38-yard line. Still a good pickup for Hatfield. Pickup of about 7 yards. 2nd down 3 situation for the Panthers as they start rolling right once again on offense. They started up at their 40. They're now inside the Shelby Valley 40, just underway here in the second half. 10:40 left in the 3rd quarter. Well, Pruitt going to pass out of that wishbone, looking for Kern Weddington out there. Double coverage, and the pass is incomplete, and Pruitt gets decked by the pass rusher out there, number 64, Eric Blackburn as he releases the football. Kind of an interesting pass play that time, Brian. No wide receivers went out. No tight ends went out. The backs were all in close in that wishbone, and he threw out of that running set. This time he does have a receiver split out to the far side. Looks like Adam Minix on the left side of the field. Give off to Eddie DeRamus, and Eddie plows through a couple of tackles and picks up some good yardage. More than enough for the first down to the Shelby Valley 25-yard line. Sterling Isaac, one of the people on the tackle for Shelby Valley, number 2. Pikeville with the first down. Tell you, DeRamus is a guy that you cannot arm tackle. You've got to hit him low around the knees of the ankle and trip him up, because he's going to plow right through you if you try to just arm tackle him. We got a flag down and a touchdown on the other end. Brent Coleman scores, but we got a flag on upfield near the line of scrimmage. Let's see what the call is going to be. Looks like this one's coming back. Blocking below the knees. Illegal block, whatever you want to call it, against the Panthers. It's going to take that touchdown away from Brent Coleman and bring the ball back the other way. Ball is going to be marched all the way out to the 40-yard line. First and 20. First and 25, excuse me. The ball was spotted. Now, we had it right the first time. First and 20, the ball spotted at the 35. We're at an angle here. We'll get it right. Pruitt back to pass. Weddington wide open. Weddington's got the catch at the 10-yard line. So Pikeville picks up the 20 yards. They pick up 25 down to the 10. First down and 10. Well, they're going to spot the ball at the 11 officially. First and 10. Pikeville can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. Pruitt up under center. Gives off first man through the hole, and that is Coleman. Coleman inside the 10 to about the 7. Pickup of about 4, second and 6. I'm going to sneeze again. Brent Coleman just straight up the middle, squirts through for the score. About a 7-yard run for Brent Coleman. That ups the lead to 41-0. Sergio Ramos coming out to try that extra point. So Pikeville gets the ball first time they have it in the second half. They pound it right down the field and score once again. Ramos's kick is up, and it's good. Straight through the uprights, and it makes it Pikeville 42, Shelby Valley nothing, with 9:08 remaining in the third period of play, excuse me. And we'll be back after this timeout on WPRG Channel 5 Sports. Napier. Okay, welcome back to Shelby Valley High School. Bell, Potter, and Johnson back to receive the kickoff of the Pikeville Panthers. Kick coming to one of the upbacks. Looks like number 31 for Shelby Valley. That is Chad Newsom. Newsom up to about the 40-yard line. Well, we got a couple of scores in. Whitesburg is shutting out McGoffin County down at Whitesburg in the first quarter, and Prestonsburg leading MC Napier also in the first half of play. Of course, if Prestonsburg beats MC Napier, I think, from what I've been told tonight, Shelby Valley will make it into the playoffs as the number 4 team in this AA district. McGoffin County's had a pretty good season, but all their losses have come to district foes, so they could come out with a winning record and still not make it to the playoffs. Mike Caba's done a good job down there at quarterback, and his daddy's done a good job bringing football back into prominence in Salyersville. And the pass by Hall is going to be picked off. It's number 22 for Pikeville, Josh Baroni. We got a flag down, but Baroni's still on his feet and running and gets the ball up to the Pikeville 45-yard line. Got a flag down here at about the 36, 37-yard line. Let's see who the call is going to be on. Definitely not the way things were meant to start for Shelby Valley here in the second half. If you're a Wildcat fan, Pikeville got the ball first, scored a quick touchdown, and then as soon as Shelby Valley got the football, they threw it into the hands of a Pikeville defender. Pikeville called for pass interference, so that interception is going to come back and going to be marked off against the Panthers. So a break for the Wildcats that time. I expect to see Hall throwing more in this second half. They're down by a big score, 42-0. Got a couple of pretty good backs in Finch and Johnson, but when you're down by that many points, it's not time to establish the run. And Hall will probably be throwing quite a bit here in the second half. Ball's going to be marked across the midfield stripe at the 45-yard line of Pikeville. The nose of the football just outside the 45-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Well, Brian, I do not have my shorts on tonight. I've got jeans and boots on and a long sleeve shirt and a jacket, and I'm still cold out here. My teeth are starting to chatter, so if I sound like I'm stuttering a little bit here in the second half, it's because of the chill in the air. Oh, and a good defensive play there. Johnny Alvin was open. Josh Barona over there jumping up in the air tips that football, or Alvin would have had a wide open catch and nobody in front of him downfield. 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats. Good opportunity for the Wildcats here. They've got the ball inside Pikeville territory. Need to get something going on offense. They've moved the ball between the 30s, but have not been able to put it in the end zone. Mistakes and fumbles have caused the Wildcats to remain scoreless here in this ball game. Hall back to pass under some pressure. Going to tuck the ball under and run. Didn't have time to pass. He gets up to the 47. Going to lose a couple. Going to be 3rd and 12. So Brent Coleman scored 3 touchdowns, had a couple of long scampers, and then that 7-yard run. John Hatfield had a 26-yard run, and Big Eddie DeRamus had a couple of touchdowns for Pikeville as they spread the scoring wealth around their 3 backs. Chris Strait really the only starter that has not scored out of that backfield tonight. Shelby Valley offense wants to take time out to talk things over. We'll go ahead and take a break here on WPRG Channel 5 Sports. Okay, welcome back. Mike Hall back up under center for Shelby Valley. Looks like Alvin going to be split out to the far side and Bell to the near side. Hall back to pass. Looking for some time. Good block by Finch. Throws the ball out to Alvin, and he has his hands on it, and he is hit by Barone. Incomplete. Well, Alvin's been open somewhat several times tonight and has had a little trouble holding on to the football. Of course, it's a cold night out there. When that ball's snapped into those hands, it kind of stings when it starts getting cool like this. Going to be a 4th down and 12 situation for Shelby Valley. The ball inside Pikeville territory. And looks, excuse me, looks like Sterling Isaac going to be back to kick for the Wildcats. Back in single safety. I think that's Brent Coleman back there. They're not going to kick the ball. That's Hall with it. Hall is going to be snowed under. Pikeville read that one real well. And they take Hall down for a loss back at the Shelby Valley 46, and that's where Pikeville will take over once again on offense. Pruitt back to pass. Got some time, looks upfield, hits number 24, Kern Weddington. Weddington with the catch. Got the first down, and the ball is going to be spotted at about the 35-yard line of Shelby Valley. Well, a lot of teams, when they've got a big lead, run the football. Pikeville is a running team, so when they have a lead, they pass the football to work on something that they don't do too often. Tell you, Jonathan Pruitt and Doug Powers, his backup, as well as this young kid coming up in the freshman class, all of those kids are good-looking young quarterbacks and can throw the football. Pikeville just has not had the necessity or the inclination to pass too much, but that time a pass to Hatfield wide open. The missed tackle by Johnson and results in a score by John Hatfield. 35-yard touchdown bomb from Jonathan Pruitt, and Pikeville puts another 6 on the scoreboard. 48-0, and Ramos going to trot back out on the field to try his 6th attempt of the night. The Pikeville scored 7 touchdowns, but once they had to go for 2 because Ramos's first PAT was a little off to the left. Ramos right now looking for the kick. It is up and hits the crossbar and no good. Got a bad snap. The ball kind of flat on the ground. The holder not able to get it up real quick for him. Kind of messed him up on his timing, and the ball hit the crossbar. No good. Score remains 48-0. Pikeville with a big lead, and we'll be back with this Pikeville Panther kickoff after this timeout on WPRG Sports. Okay, welcome back. See who's going to kick the ball for Pikeville this time. Number 60, Tom Blanton, going to boot it away for the Panthers. He kicked one off in the first half, did a pretty good job. Bell, Johnson, and Potter back deep for Shelby Valley. The ball coming down to 21. Potter at about the 18-yard line. He cuts back to the center part of the field, still on his feet, breaks a couple of tackles and churns ahead to about the 43-yard line. Good run back by David Potter.
43-yard line, 1st and 10, Shelby Valley. David Potter.
So Potter showing that the fight is not out of the Wildcats as he fights ahead to the 43-yard line. Once again, Shelby Valley with good field position. They have just not been able to get things timed out and on track offensively. They'll get a first down or 2, and then a mistake, a fumble, an interception, a penalty will knock them off track. Hall under center, backs in an eye, double wideouts. Hall gives off to Johnson. Johnson finds a little running room, crosses midfield, and gets into Pikeville territory to about the 47-yard line. Close to a first down. Gain of about 9, 2nd down and 1.
2nd and 1.
Hall barking out the signals, and we've got a offensive lineman, number 64, there jumping up and looking toward the center, and that's going to mark Shelby Valley off 5 yards. Illegal procedure. So instead of a 2nd and 1, now they're back to a 2nd and 6 situation. A lot easier to pick up a yard than it is to pick up 6. When you're working with a 2nd and 1, you can throw that football and try some things on 2nd down, knowing that you should be able to get the first down on 3rd down. But now with the 2nd and 6, it more limits your options as far as play calling. Outland split out here to the near side, Bell to the far side. Backs have run out of an eye all night long. Just a one-step drop and a nice catch by Bell. And boy, is he hammered when he catches the football. Right, number 44, I think that's Ben Ramsey on the tackle.
Tackled by Hayes and Floyd. 1st down, Shelby Valley.
hope Pikeville doesn't put in too many different players tonight, Brian, because my roster is a little bit old and they've done some number switches that have confused me earlier this year. Finch on the carry, picked up about 4 yards, give him a 2nd and 6 situation. Ball resting on the Pikeville, about the 42.5-yard line. Alvin split out near side, Bell to the far side. Pikeville showed some blitz. They're throwing out here to Alvin, and Alvin's got the football. Nice catch there as he steps out of bounds at about the 28-yard line of Pikeville. Knocked out of bounds there by Josh Baroni. Gives the Wildcats of Shelby Valley the first down. Hall under center, gives off to Jeremy Johnson. He breaks one tackle, finds a little running room, and gets all the way up to the 15-yard line before he's finally driven down. Nice little run by Jeremy Johnson, picked up about 12 yards, maybe 13 on the carry. Ball going to be spotted at the 16, 12-yard run, first down. Pikeville shuttling some players in and out here on defense. Some clean white jerseys coming out there, Brian. Some new players, at least on the line for the Panthers. Hall up under center, rolls out to pass, throws down in the end zone, looking for Alvin over there, and well covered that time by Baroni. Broken up, incomplete. 3:22 remaining here in the third period of play. Pikeville with a big 48-0 lead. Shelby Valley trying to put some points on the scoreboard here on this drive. 2nd down and 10 from the Pikeville 16-yard line. I tell you what, boys basketball for grade school and high school just around the corner. I think some of the playoff games for high school football may not be over before grade school and high school basketball get underway with some of the panoramas. One step drop by Hall, timing pattern to Bell. Bell had it knocked away. That was coming down to him, but Pikeville's looked like number 80, Chip Templeman, back there on coverage, knocked it away. Also back there, number 21, and Dennis Manning. Big Williamson preseason panorama at Sheldon Clark goes on the 24th of November. There'll be 7 games up there, a lot of teams in action, and I think there's a couple of panoramas before that one even starts. Handoff to Jeremy Johnson. He fights ahead for yardage, looking for that first down marker. Very close down there near the 6-yard line. Let's see where they spot the football. First and goal as they mark the ball ahead. Looks like they just barely got that first down, maybe by the nose of the football, but the Wildcats have their first and goal situation of the evening at the 6-yard line of the Pikeville Panthers. Give off to Johnson, and Johnson's going to be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Good penetration by the defensive line of the Pikeville Panthers that time. Number 42, Eddie DeRamus, in there. Also number 62, Ricky Whitehead, in the middle of that line, stacking things up.
First down.
Second down and goal from the 6. Baxton and I haul up under center, and we've got a flag. We've got to have a flag on that play. Hall backed out before the center was ready to give it to him. Let's put it that way. And we had several people moving on the line. Legal procedure against the Wildcats. Going to bike the ball up to the 11-yard line. Second and goal from the 11. Shelby Valley is going to call a timeout to talk things over. We'll go ahead and take a break here on WPRG Channel 5 Sports. Okay, welcome back here to live action. Shelby Valley wanted a timeout to try to get things situated on offense. They've got a second down and goal from the right around the 11-yard line. Backs are split, not in an eye this time, and the receivers split as well. Hall's got some room, and he throws the ball right into the hands of one of the defensive backs for Pikeville. Intercepted. So the Panthers are going to take over on offense after that interception. Looked like he was looking for Alvin cutting across the middle there, and threw the ball in behind the receiver into the hands. There were two defenders over there, and Panthers come up with an interception. Pruitt gives off to Coleman. Coleman outside the 20 to about the 23-yard line. Got enough for the first down, it looks like, as the chains move. Pick up of about 11 yards, 1st and 10 for the Panthers. With this big lead, I don't think Pikeville's starting backfield will be in the 4th period. I don't know, but with the playoffs coming up, why risk an injury? Oh, and number 30. Open out there was I'm thinking that's Adam Minix. I don't know. They've changed. Ball just overthrown, but he was open. We'll check that number for you real quick here, because they've Minix has worn 29, 30, and 89 this year, so we'll find out which number he's wearing tonight. Don't want to mess it up, because Kay and Bill have always been real good to us, and we see them at all these ball games, and we don't want to get their son's number messed up, and we don't want to get somebody else's number messed up, so we'll check real quick here in just a minute. Oh, the officials weren't ready. I wondered what went on there. There was no flag. Pruitt on a quarterback keeper over the right side, finds some running room and finds a little bit more as he scoots to the right, then cuts back inside and gets the first down up at about the 37-yard line. We got a Shelby Valley player shaken up. Okay. Adam Minix is number 30. Number 29 is Ben Wagner. Got a Shelby Valley player. Don't know exactly what happened there. Don't think he was hit too hard down there on the sideline, but he is being attended to. I tell you, when you're running and twisting and turning, it's very easy to jam up a leg or a knee, and looks like that's what it is. No, Danny Osborne looks like he may have taken a fall on that shoulder there, the way they've got that arm done up. We're not going to hazard to guess. Danny Osborne, number 56, being helped off. Went for the tackle and hit that ground a little bit hard. Back to live action. Jonathan Pruitt to Hatfield. Hatfield breaks a tackle, squirts to the outside, spins, turns, finds some more running room. He can run. He's out to the races, and he's going to outrun the defense after getting through 4 or 5 would-be tacklers all the way into the end zone. 63 or 64-yard run there by John Hatfield. Shelby Valley had 3 or 4 tries at him and couldn't collar him in, and then he got around the sidelines and outran number 43 Johnny Alvin into the end zone for the score. Now, somebody was saying it was 50-something degrees when they came to the ball game, Brian. I guarantee you it's not 50-something out here right now. Diego Ramos' kick is up and good. It makes a score. Pikeville 55, Shelby Valley nothing. We'll be back with the Panther kickoff after this break on WPRG Sports. Welcome back to Shelby Valley on a colder and colder Friday evening here. Tom Blanton going to kick off for Pikeville, number 60. He's kicked several times tonight. Back deep, Johnson, Potter, and Bell for Shelby Valley. Pikeville with a commanding lead here, and a minute and a half still remains in the 3rd period of play. Ball going to come down to number 1, Bell. Bell going to take it straight up the middle. Gets through 1 tackler and goes down at about the 37-yard line. That's where Shelby Valley will have it. 1st and 10 on offense. Had a golden opportunity last time they had the football, 1st and goal at the 6, and through an interception. They've had 3 turnovers tonight, and some penalties have hurt them during their offensive drives. I'm sure Coach Tom Searcy would like to see this offense put something together here before the ball game is over. I don't think the outcome is in doubt by any stretch of the imagination, but Shelby Valley would definitely like to get a score or 2 on the board. And should MC Napier fall to Prestonsburg tonight, they need to work on this offense for the playoffs as well. And Jeremy Johnson with the carry gets some big running room over across the midfield stripe into Pikeville territory at about the 43-yard line. Give Shelby Valley a 1st down, no flags on the play. Looks like Johnson, the ball carrier, shaken up just a little bit as well. Coming up rather slowly. May just have a Charlie horse in that leg. He's coming off the field fairly well, and will have to stay out at least 1 play. That's the rule. If you don't get back up and get into the huddle within a few seconds, the referees make you go out for a play. Backs are in an eye. Receivers are split. Alvin to the near side, Bell to the far side. Lead back in the eye is Finch, number 10. Hall back to pass. Looking out here for Alvin, and it's tipped and picked off by Josh Baroni, number 42. And Alvin looks like he may have stretched a hamstring over on the sideline. He's holding his upper leg area. So Shelby Valley once again throws an interception, 2nd time in a row on offense, and Pikeville once again with good field possession. The ball spotted at the Panthers' 47-yard line. See who trots out here to play offense for the Panthers. Doug Powers checking in. Brent Coleman checks out. Eddie DeRamus is one fullback spot. Looks like Abe Boyd and Chris Strait and Eddie DeRamus are in the backfield now. The give off to Strait. Strait finds some running room straight ahead to the 46-yard line of Shelby Valley. Pickup of about 8, second down and 2. So Brent Coleman and John Hatfield may be done for the evening. That's the end of the third quarter of play with a score of Pikeville 55, Shelby Valley nothing. We'll be back with the fourth and final quarter after this timeout on WPRG Channel 5 Sports. Hey, welcome back to live action. Second down and about 2 for Pikeville as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Doug Powers now at quarterback, gives off to number 20, Abe Boyd on the carry. He's got enough for the first down, picks up about 5. First down for the Panthers at the Wildcat 42-yard line. Going to see a lot of different faces in, I think, for Pikeville now. Ben Cassidy, number 10, now in the ball game. Powers on a keeper, pitches out to Boyd. Boyd tries to get around the corner, picks up about 3, maybe 4 yards inside the 40. They're going to mark it at the 38, give him 4, second down and 6. Doug Powers, just a sophomore, played quite a bit last year on the basketball team as a freshman. Did a fine job after some injuries took out some of the starters. He had to step in there and play a yeoman's role in the center position and did real well. Give off straight ahead. Looks like number 4, Lorenzo McGill on the carry. No, that's number 43, Jeff Wagner. Jeff Wagner, number 43 on the carry. I saw that 4, didn't see the 3 as they unpiled. Third down and about 3. Powers up under center. Gives off a little misdirection play to Kern Weddington. Weddington trying to get up there to the first down. He's going to be very close as he's brought down around the 32. See where they spot the football. Looks like from our angle he may be about a foot or 2 short. They're going to bring the chains over and give it a measurement, find out if Pikeville's got that first down or not. Well, okay, they were listening to me, Brian. They've got it spotted about a foot away from a first down. 4th and less than a yard for Pikeville. Powers has it, gives off, first man through. I think that was Boyd, no, not Abe Boyd. He was one of the blockers. Who was that on the carry? 43, Wagner, I think, on the carry, and he should have enough for the first down. We've got another Shelby Valley player shaken up right in the middle of that line where the tackle was made. First down for the Panthers. 10:03 remaining in the ball game. Pikeville with the first down and a big lead, 55-0, and a lot of the faithful here from Shelby Valley starting to pile out, and a few from over on the Pikeville side starting to leave as well because it's getting downright cold and the outcome of this ball game is not in doubt any longer. I want to take our hats off to all these kids. We've been all over the region covering football. We've been to Matewan several times, over to Belfry, down to Phelps, over to Magoffin County, to Pikeville, to Shelby Valley, and we have really enjoyed this season of football, and we want to thank all the great sponsors that we have had during the year. Without you, we would not be able to bring you these ball games. So thanks to all the fine sponsors we've had for football here on Channel 5 during the regular season. Of course, we got some playoffs to go. Handoff over there to number 22. That is Josh Baroni on the carry, and he turns around the corner and gets a little bit of running room inside the 20 to around the 19-yard lines where they're going to mark the football. First and 10 for the Panthers from there. Didn't look like he picked up that many yards, but they've got a first down spotted over there at the 19. So Pikeville marching. They've got their second unit in. I don't know about the line, but the backfield definitely. And that time a short run over the right side. Not much running room there. Good play over there by number 53 for Shelby Valley. Scotty Little on the tackle. Also over there, number 42, Steve Justice, in on the tackle as well for Shelby Valley. Handoff once again, straight up the middle, number 22, Baroni, picks up a couple more yards. Going to give him about a 3rd down and 6 situation. Number 76 for the Wildcats in on the tackle. We'll try to get that number to you real quick here. Like Joey Hall. 3rd and 6 for Pikeville. The handoff to, we'll have to check as they unpile. .24, Kern Weddington. Enough for the first down inside the 10-yard line as they mark it on the 9. It'll be a 1st and goal for the Pikeville Panthers as Kern Weddington able to get that first down on an important 3rd down play. Pikeville still running out of the wishbone. Bootleg by Powers, flips back to Boyd, and Boyd is lucky to get up to the line of scrimmage. He is smacked down at the 9-yard line. No gain on the play. Talked to my good buddy Kevin Garris just a couple of weeks back, and he's looking forward to the Pikeville Panthers version of basketball in 1994-95. So they've got a foreign exchange student that looks real good. Of course, Doug Powers and quite a few of the players back this year for the Pikeville Panthers. Had a lot of sophomores and juniors on that team last year that contributed quite a bit. And the Panthers looking for a successful season. Pikeville's going to take a timeout, Brian, with 7:31 remaining in this ball game. We'll go ahead and take a break here on WPRG Channel 5 Sports. Gosh. Okay, welcome back. Pikeville with a 2nd and goal. The ball marked right at the 9-yard line, just inside the 9. Panthers got a lot of young kids in there on the line and in the backfield, and though they don't need to score again, they are looking to work these kids and have them run the plays like they're supposed to. And the pass by Doug Powers on the rollout is good into the far corner of the end zone over there with the reception. It's number 21 for the Pikeville Panthers, Dennis Manning. So the Panthers crack the 60 mark now, 61 points. We've still got 7:23 remaining in the ball game. They have been putting a lot of points on the board all season long, but especially in the last 4 or 5 games. They have gone over 70 in I think 3 out of the last 4 games, and scored 69 last week against Lewis County. Kern Weddington goes for the 2-point conversion. He's into the end zone and makes it 63-0. Well, I'd say as far as state scoring averages goes, Brian, Pikeville's got to be right up there near the top, if not at the top. We'll be back with the Panthers kickoff after this timeout on WPRG Channel 5 Sports. Okay, welcome back. It's like Tom Blanton, number 60, going to boot it away for Pikeville. Back deep is number 1, Jeremy Bell. Far side, number 21, David Potter. Near side, number 30, Jeremy Johnson for the Wildcats of Shelby Valley. Blanton gets the ball up to the middle back. That is Bell. And Bell spun down at about the 35-yard line, so Shelby Valley will take over on offense from there. Still searching for that initial touchdown. Last couple of drives were cut short by interceptions. The earlier drive was a 1st and goal situation on the 6-yard line of Pikeville, and they threw an interception. Then they got it back, moved the ball a little bit, and threw it back into the hands of the Panthers once again. So let's see what young Mike Hall can do this time at quarterback. He's had a lot of pressure on him tonight from the Pikeville defense. Got some good pass rushes, forced him out of the pocket before he was ready to throw. Well, Pikeville's called a timeout right after the kickoff, which is kind of an interesting situation. If things go as they are tonight, it looks like MC Napier is trailing Prestonsburg 13-0 in the third quarter. That would allow Shelby Valley to get into the playoffs, and they would be playing at Russell next week. Pikeville, of course, will be at home for their first playoff game, and if they win, which they should be favored to win, would be at home for their second playoff game as well. Whitesburg will be at home for the first 2 playoff games. Should they get past the first playoff game next week, they're playing Fleming County next week. And Prestonsburg will be at home for their first playoff game. They will be taking on the loser of the East Carter-Lawrence County game. The rest of the local teams will be on the road. And Hall gets the ball, falls down, but gets it into the hands of David Finch, and Finch off to the races down the sideline all the way down to about the 22-yard line. I thought Hall had the football when he fell down, Brian, but he was able to get it off to Finch, and Finch gets some good running room, longest run of the night for the Wildcats, and the ball is at the Pikeville 22-yard line. First and 10. Hall up under center, Baxton and Alvin split out near side, Bell to the far side of the field. Give off to Johnson. Johnson breaks one tackle, scoots to the outside, and is brought down around the 15-yard line. About a 7-yard gain. 2nd down and 3 for the Wildcats. 6:44 and counting. Pikeville with a 63-0 lead in this ball game.
2nd and 3.
Tell you, earlier in the season when Pikeville was struggling a little bit on defense, I thought that folks like Jenkins and Shelby Valley would give them a pretty good ball game, but man, they caught fire about mid-season, and they have just been piling on the points since about the 5th game of the season, and the defense has come around and played real well. They give up some yardage, but they don't give up very many points, and Pikeville looks poised. I don't know how far they can go this year, but I think they'll at least get out of this region in the playoffs. They should win their first couple of games. Pass is incomplete. Over there, Johnny Alvin defending on Wagner, and Alvin slipped but got his hand up and batted the ball away. Incomplete pass. Third down and 3 for the Wildcats. The ball at the 15-yard line of Pikeville. Wildcats need to punch a score across here. It'd be a big blow for the team pride and fire them up just a little bit. A lot of downcast faces on the sidelines right now as Pikeville is pretty good whipping on them, and the exchange between the center and the quarterback, not a good one, and Hall just had to fall on it, so it's going to be a 4th down situation now from the 17-yard line, of 4th and about 5. course, Shelby Valley's run up against a couple of pretty tough football teams here in the last couple of weeks. They took on Whitesburg, which is the #1 ranked team in this area in AA and ranked in the top 10 in the state. And now they're taking on Pikeville, the #1 team in this area in Class A and ranked #4 in the state. Shelby Valley's called a timeout. We'll go ahead and take a break on WPRG Sports. Okay, welcome back. Hall up under center. Rolls back to pass. Got a man open and stepping in front of the pass there on a good defensive play. One of the Pikeville backs. Let's see if we can catch his number as he trots off the field. Pikeville will take over on downs. That was number 29, Ben Wagner, on the coverage. So Shelby Valley once again gets close, but no cigar, no points put on the board, and the Panthers will take over on downs with 5:23 remaining in this ball game. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of former coaches and assistant coaches up in this press box tonight doing radio sports tonight, Brian. It's kind of an interesting group we've got up there. Plus Randy Jones, the press announcer over at the W.C. Hambly Athletic Complex. Since Pikeville's on the road, he's got an off night, so he's over helping out on one of the radio crews. Randy's done a great job doing football and basketball announcing for the stadium and the arena crowds over there for a number of years. Real nice guy and always full of good information. See Paul Blackburn in there from down in Lowe's Sporting Goods, and he's been all over this region outfitting kids in football gear this fall, and now working on getting basketball uniforms and supplies out to all these grade schools and high schools. He's a busy man, but he's in the press box hanging out tonight. Straight up the middle the Panthers go. Pickup of about 4 yards, 2nd down and 6. Number 14 now in at quarterback for Pikeville. That's Jay Ramsey. He's a freshman. Handoff and not much running room that time along the left side of the Shelby Valley line. Number 4, McGill on the carry. Pickup of maybe a yard, 3rd down and 5. 4:25 and counting in this ball game. Pikeville has got it wrapped up 63-0. Got a lot of new kids in the lineup, some people getting a chance to carry the football. Ramsey on a keeper, and he's going to be knocked down short of the 1st down at about the 22-yard line. 4th down and 5 situation for Pikeville. Now, who will kick the ball is the next question. Or is Pikeville just going to go ahead and run this thing? I didn't see the normal punter go out there. We'll find out what they do. Looks like they're just going to hang on to the ball on a 4th and 5. Number 82 split out wide. That is Todd McCoy to the near side. Handoff goes nowhere. In fact, they lose yardage back to the 15-yard line. It's McGill on the carry for the loss, and Shelby Valley will take over on downs, 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. So a lot of those freshman and sophomore players that have come up through the ranks and played so well on the grade school and JV teams getting into the fracas here at the last few minutes of this ball game with Shelby Valley. A lot of new jerseys out there for the Pikeville Panthers. Hall at quarterback gives off to Johnson, and Johnson stacked up at the line. Well, the young kids know how to tackle and hit. They hit him right at the line for no gain. 2:48 and counting in this ball game. Want to remind everybody, Sunday, got the big Monster Bash up there at the Kmart Plaza on Highway 23. All the stores and businesses from around the area will be having a costume contest, prizes, candy and goodies for the kids from 2 to 5 o'clock down there. You can join all the crew from the X, and I think I'll go down there and check it out myself, see what's going on. I'm going to wear a paper bag on my head, Brian, and go as a UK football fan. Jeremy Johnson gets a score for the Shelby Valley Wildcats over the right side, finds a hole and carries it into the end zone. 16-yard run for Johnson. Finally breaks that goose egg on the scoreboard. Shelby Valley's got 6 on the board. Of course, if it stays as cold as it is today, I may just wrap up in cotton and go as a giant piece of lint for Halloween. We'll find out what goes on. Hall on a keeper for the 2-point conversion, and it's good. So Shelby Valley has gotten a 2-point conversion. It's 65-8 with 2:12 remaining in the ball game, and we will be back with the Shelby Valley Wildcat kickoff after this break on WPRG Sports. Yeah. Okay, welcome back. Looks like Jeremy Johnson came out, and also number 12, Jay Early. Let's see, they've got a lot of skill people up on the front line. Shelby Valley maybe going for an onside, as Brian Lee just astutely pointed out. Had some different people on the kickoff team than we saw earlier in the ball game. Let's see what they do with this. Well, that's a little too long for an onside kick. It was a squibber on the ground back to about the 23-yard line, picked up by the Panthers and run out to about the 35. We got a flag down around the 28-yard line. Normally on a kickoff return, it is on the receiving team for an illegal block or a clip. Preliminary indications of the call is against Pikeville. We'll see what the referee rules here in just a second. Holding against Pikeville. It's going to take them back. Ball going to be spotted right around the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Two minutes and counting, and no 2-minute warning in high school football. That clock keeps right on going. I think the only reason they got a 2-minute warning in pro football is so that they can get the TV advertisers some extra time spots on there. But the clock keeps right on ticking in high school ball, and Pikeville fumbles on the handoff. The ball rolls on the ground, and Shelby Valley picks it up. Recovered by the Wildcats at about the 24-yard line. I don't know who had that football, whether the quarterback lost it or whether the running backs lost it on the handoff, but it rolled on the ground kind of like a bocce ball about 5 yards upfield, and Shelby Valley falling on it. So a miscue right there around the time of the snap, and as we said, Pikeville had a lot of young kids, a lot of freshmen and sophomores in there. Some of them may not be used to playing with these different units, and the ball was fumbled away, and Shelby Valley's got one more crack at it with 1.5 minutes left in the ball game. Hall back to pass, got a man open. They're going to call that a reception. Isaac has the ball. Yeah, he fell on the ground and must have kept those arms between the ball in the grass. He scoops it up on a very low pass, and it's called a completion down at about the 5-yard line. So Shelby Valley, 1st and goal from the 5. Jeremy Johnson in motion, 1 back in the backfield. Finch to block. They throw the ball to Johnson. He catches it in the corner of the end zone on the far side and scores. So the Wildcats get their 2nd touchdown very quickly after that fumble by Pikeville. Makes the score 63-14. Will Shelby Valley go for 1 or will they go for 2? Lots of Halloween festivities going on this weekend. I think most of your towns have got Halloween on Saturday night, since Halloween actually falls on a Sunday night. But there'll be a lot of things going on both Saturday and Sunday all over the area for the little ghosts and goblins. And the 2-point conversion pass by Hall broken up there by the Pikeville defense. Extra point is no good, and we will be back with the Shelby Valley kickoff after this timeout on WPRG Channel 5 Sports. Okay, welcome back. Once again, Shelby Valley looks like they're lined up in an onside kick type formation. Jeremy Johnson is going to kick the ball. The last time he kind of did a little worm burner roller down the field. Let's see what they do this time. And they're going to do the same thing again. Going to just kind of squirt it down. It goes past McGill, picked up by number 23, Chad Johnson for Pikeville. And he is brought down at about the 15-yard line. That's where the Panthers will take over with 56 seconds remaining in the ball game. They've got a 63-14 lead. David Finch in on the tackle. Shelby Valley with a lot of folks going both ways on offense and defense tonight. Ramsey, number 14, in at quarterback. Gives the ball straight up the middle. Little bit of running room, maybe about 3 yards straight up the middle. See if they unpile who the ball carrier was. Well, I thought Ramsey handed that ball off, Brian, but he came up out of the pile. It was a fake handoff, and I guess he kept it straight up the middle himself. And that is the buzzer sounding the end of this ball game. Final score, Pikeville 63, Shelby Valley 14. We'll be back to wrap this one up after this quick timeout on WPRG Sports. Okay, welcome back here to Shelby Valley, Pikeville. Big winners here tonight, 63-14. Game never in doubt. Pikeville opened up a big lead in the first quarter, never looked back. Brent Coleman, Eddie DeRamus, and John Hatfield, big offensive members for the Pikeville Panthers. They had the 63-0 lead going into the 4th and final quarter, put in a bunch of the youngsters, and Shelby Valley getting a couple scores here to make the final score 63-14. We'll be down at Pikeville next week to open up the playoffs as the Panthers will take on either Pineville or Harlan. For Brian Lee, I'm Chuck Scoville saying we'll see you next weekend down at Pikeville on WPRG Sports. So long, everybody.